One of the reasons that our expectations can keep us so stuck is we have an automatic tendency to use the past to predict the future. If you failed once, you're likely to think you might fail again. When you think about the future, same part of the brain gets activated as when you think of the past. However, just because you use the past to make predictions doesn't mean that your past is what's holding you back. As J.R. Tolkien said, a single dream is more powerful than 1,000 realities. When you expect to get a reward, you feel positive emotions like happiness and joy. But when you don't think you're going to get what you want, you feel sadness, disappointment, maybe even depression. The larger the gap between what you expect and what you want, the more distressed you feel. So what do you do when what you want doesn't match up with what you expect? Well, there's only two ways you can feel good in this situation. You can give up wanting what you want, tell yourself it wasn't really worth the effort, you didn't really want it anyway. Or you can change your expectations to match up with what you want so that you can take consistent action. So I realize some of you might be thinking, I don't expect this to work for me. And to be perfectly honest, several years ago, I may not have expected a simple process like this to make a difference in people's lives either. But I was working with a very depressed patient. I had been treating him for about 6 months, and we had done so much work together, but nothing we did seemed to make any difference. One day I asked him, "Where is the light at the end of the tunnel?" He looked at me with one of the blankest stares I had ever seen. After that day, I started asking all of my patients this question, and I was startled to realize that many of them looked at me in the exact same way. They didn't dare to dream about how their lives could be different because they didn't believe it was possible. So I started to change the focus of my work to almost exclusively helping my patients shift those expectations so that they could find their light at the end of the tunnel. 5 years of research shows changing your expectations can significantly improve your life. And I've witnessed some very awe-inspiring transformations. The patient I mentioned earlier, within a year, had quit his dead-end job and started his own successful company. When you're motivated by what you want, change is possible.